Hi everyone and welcome to Afri Sport Fan TV and I'm with Abdi, an added fan of Arsenal. The last time they won the title is 20 years ago and the other one is I'm with Steve Austin. Steve Austin is a Manchester United fan still in dreamland about winning titles. Hi guys, how are you?
Hi, good, good, good.
Yes, yes. Arsenal won over the
Yes.
weekend. How is the feeling, Mr. Abdi?
No, it's like you said earlier, I think the last time Arsenal had won the league, I had hair. It was that long ago. Uh, I think
That's how I.
I think the Arsenal years have made me recede my hairline. So no, it's been surprisingly good season. But we Arsenal fans, we like to take things calmly. This is many disappointments. But definitely it's good to be challenging. That's the one thing. But beating City, that's a tough call, beating them to the title. Liverpool are Liverpool. They've done it. They've proved it. But Arsenal, man, like I don't know. There's just something. We're playing good football, but it's just that little chink in the armor. You just don't know. Like Arsenal have got a reputation. You can't fully trust them. You can't have that 100% trust. I mean, you can trust City. It doesn't matter if City drop points even against Liverpool. You can trust they can still win the title. But Arsenal now, we have a great team, great squad. The board have given Arteta a lot of money. There's no excuses. He's not doing miracles with amateur players. These are expensive players. Look at Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, the money that's been spent. But I will say we're still like I'll put us just above Liverpool for a better chance to win the title against City. But I'll still say City are, as it depends when we're playing them next. If we beat them, then that might be a different question. But we still got Tottenham. I think Tottenham away, yes. We still got Man United away. We still got Chelsea. So that's including the City, that's four big games out of the last 10 games. Like that's and Tottenham, they're gonna be playing like Barcelona prime.
Because it's a derby.
Huh?
Abdi, now, Wenger once said being in position four, it's like winning a trophy. And there is a team who want to catch up in position four, Manchester United. You won against Everton, two penalties. How is the feeling, Mr. Steve?
Coming back to winning ways, definitely the feeling is good. It doesn't matter how you get the win. A win is a win, whether it's via penalties. Definitely, before these guys concede a penalty, that means there is a foul play. So it feels good. The race for top four clearly is tough. Looking at Tottenham just dismantled Aston Villa over the weekend. That was a very massive win as far as the top four race is concerned. And I know the form with Manchester United, now that they also have a very huge run of fixtures, considering they are facing Liverpool and also Arsenal, and they have also not yet faced Tottenham themselves. So the race for top four is pretty hard. And I know it's a challenge that the boys are up for the task, but with the direction with the team is taking, I'm not convinced. It's tough. Let's wait for the next 2 3 matches and see the progress of the team. But the team spirit is there. The people who are injured are player. The players are coming back from the next match. We'll see the likes of the Profilic, Rasmus Hojland, and the other players who are also coming back from injuries like Mason Mount. So I'm feeling optimistic. I keep on trusting the process, and the Arsenal fans took their time before the building this team that is challenging for the title. So let me also take my time and build the team.
Everyone is trusting the process, and one process seems to be
Now, if you
the
say trust the
level.
process, you trust it now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone trusting the process, and maybe it will be well. Yesterday's game, Manchester City versus Liverpool game. What was your take on it,
Uh,
Abby?
uh, it was a good game. That's one thing I give them because I actually watched it as being where we are right now. We got the result we wanted, which was a draw. That's what we were looking for. But when I take from that game, I'm seeing City. I'm seeing like they have some weaknesses in that defense that can be attacked. You know, I think if Salah started for Liverpool, it might have been a different problem for City. You know, they couldn't handle Diaz yesterday alone. He was just, cutting through them from behind. They were struggling to handle him, his pace and his dribbling. The rest of the team, they played well. Van Dijk was strong at the back. But again, Van Dijk is just, when you look at City, you have Haaland up front, but the rest of the team, that they don't really have any quick wingers, people that are going to run through the back line and everything. All their players are very technical midfielders, but they're not wingers. So for Liverpool, that wasn't causing them much trouble. De Bruyne is not a quick runner. Foden doesn't have pace. Bernardo Silva definitely doesn't have pace. Alvarez, he's a striker, he's not a winger. Which is why that's why I think Arsenal caused Liverpool a lot more problems, because we had, Martinelli and Saka are just killing teams right now in the Premier League. So I'm looking at the game against City. I think City are going to be worried against Arsenal in that game, because we don't need to go out at them. We just sit back, we hit them on that counter. But still, I mean, City had chances, man. But then Liverpool, my God, how much did they need? Like they were like that was their opportunity. They kept hitting it, but Liverpool are just like they seem to be like dragging on games now. Like, I don't know. Like last week they should have not even got a point, let alone winning the game. And this one against City. No, I think the game yesterday, I didn't feel like I was afraid of any of them, especially City, because I thought City might be a problem in this next game. But I think I'm actually feeling a bit confident going there, or at least getting a point anyway.
Steve, you saw the battle between Kevin De Bruyne and Pep. What do you think about it?
Clearly, Kevin De Bruyne wasn't happy being substituted at the time when he probably felt he could have done more into the game. We saw Liverpool dominated the midfield. So Pep Guardiola saw the need of introducing maybe Kovacic, who is maybe a center defensive midfielder, compared to De Bruyne, who is more of attacking wise and more up front. So I think it happens in the game. And we just saw a statement today by Pep Guardiola. They had a conversation, and it's part of the process. Most of these players, and they don't like getting out at are getting substituted mostly in these crucial games. We saw Kepa Arrizabalaga, the former Chelsea goalkeeper who's now playing at Real Madrid, refusing to come off at a final. So it happens, and I know they will go maybe have a conversation. I've heard people saying maybe Pep Guardiola will do away with him, because which also shows indiscipline on the team perspective. So I think this is a conversation that is building up, and we are waiting to see. We've been having conversation about Kevin De Bruyne getting interest from the Saudi Arabian League, which is attracting a huge number of players. We saw Al Hilal doing a bid for him last summer, which was rejected by Manchester City. Maybe this fight between the two parties, that is De Bruyne and Pep, might bring the conversation up come the transfer window. But that's still a long way to go. Let's wait and see. The title race is here. Manchester City, Liverpool, and Arsenal, who are tied in the points. There's still a long way to go. Yeah.
And Abdi, what did you think about the battle between Pep and Kevin De Bruyne? What was your take on it?
No, I think it's a little bit overblown. I don't think there's anything into it. I mean, I think De Bruyne probably felt like could have kept playing, but I don't know. Maybe Guardiola felt like the Liverpool players were getting a bit too excited and putting in some tackles, and he probably felt, the last thing I need is De Bruyne getting injured. Let me rest the guy. And don't forget these guys, these mans, they've got Champions League to think about as well. The games are gonna come big for them now. So he took De Bruyne off. City didn't lose. That's the main thing. They got their point at Anfield. Anfield's always been a bogey for them. You know what I mean? They never really do. I think, did Pep only win once there or something? I think, or even, I don't know. They just have a poor record there. So I think for them, a point over there was almost like a win for them. Because they didn't lose any ground to Liverpool. But I think resting De Bruyne makes sense. Because that game was getting a bit too feisty, man. And I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool felt like, yeah, let's take one of their players out for the last 10 games, disturb their running, But no, I can't see any player like try to argue with Pep Guardiola. There's no one more powerful than Guardiola at that team. Like, Pep even said before in his managerial career, man, he said like every player is disposable in his whole career he managed apart from Messi. That's his own words.
Even
Huh?
even the great Sir Alex Ferguson said no player is bigger than a football club, even the manager. So I don't know. You can't even challenge the tactics of the manager. If he says you have to come off, it doesn't matter if you feel you have the energy to run around.
Yeah. I mean, City is not really an individual team, is it? I mean, it's more they're set up to play under the manager. His tactics, the way he sets that team up. You can just bring in players from anywhere. He puts them in that position. I mean, right now, if you swap any of the managers and put them as a City manager, they won't be able to do what Guardiola's doing.
Yeah,
Because
that's true.
at all with that squad, he just knows. He just has a certain tactic that dominates game, move the ball around quickly. And he changed the game of football. I mean, you see how Klopp's game is. You see how Arteta's style is. Most managers now, defending at the front, it's just a common thing in football now. I mean, that's just what we used to see him start off that system with Barcelona. That took everyone by surprise. But now it's just common. Like even the smaller teams do that now. They're passing from the back from the goalkeeper. It's like that Route 1 Stoke football has died. Like you don't really see that. Even in last minutes of games, when there's like 5 minutes left and you're thinking, okay, you need that goal. It's like teams, they still play patiently. They still pass that ball around. They still look to break the defense. There's none of that. Okay, forget everything. Let's just kick that ball in. It's like you hardly even see that now. It's like everyone still plays with patience, but huh?
Steve, I want to
football has changed.
Steve, I want to highlight the issue of officiating because on Saturday, Manchester won 2 penalties. The first penalty was an easy penalty. Yesterday, we saw Liverpool were denied the penalty at the dying minutes of the game. So, what's your take on the level of officiating in the EPL?
Maybe on the level of officiating, I saw a tweet once AFCON was going on that the English Premier League referees should come and take lessons from the referees that managed the VAR during the AFCON tournament, that is Africa Cup of Nations. There have been consistent questions raised over time with the level of refereeing, especially the VAR. We saw in yesterday's match, especially that last kick of the game where Jeremy Doku, happened to maybe raise a high boot on Alexis McAllister. Clearly, to other people, mostly Arsenal fans, that was a penalty for Liverpool. But on my end, I think the bar needs to be raised. We need consistency in terms of officiating.
But I don't think that was a penalty. I don't think it was a penalty.
Why?
I don't think because those kind of moments, it's down to interpretation. I think like Doku went for the ball, he got the ball, but then the player that he got, the player himself, didn't actually get the ball or went for the ball. He just walked into his feet. It's a different thing. Like it wasn't like normal penalty you're used to when people are, going after a tackle and they get taken out because they have the ball. But Liverpool player didn't have the ball. He just ran towards the guy's feet. That's you can't get a penalty for that. And that's why I think the referees, they saw the interpretation of it. They said like they didn't deem it to be a dangerous tackle. That's one. And then two, Doku actually got the ball, but his leg happens to be up there. So you got more of the Liverpool player went into his leg than the other way around. The Liverpool player didn't have the ball.
Yeah, Doku got more of the ball than the player. And even if you look at the last season, the previous season, if there were decisions that went Liverpool, most of the VAR decisions, the more of the officiating errors went in the Liverpool way. So I don't make it. I feel there is more of inconsistencies in terms of officiating. It's a case of when it works on your end, you don't complain. If it doesn't work, definitely you have to complain. So I think we need to work especially the English refereeing official team need to come up with a specific. I think even the rules themselves don't work because at the end of the match, you find at the end of the match, the referee comes out and apologizes. He says, this is officiating was wrong. Like now for the Arsenal match between Arsenal and that is Newcastle, the ball was out of play, but the ball stood. The officials came out and apologized after the match, but the damage has already been harmed. So I think it's something that they really need to work on.
Even on the Arsenal game, Kai Havertz, they say he dived and he had a yellow card. So that means he was supposed to pick up a yellow card and a straight card. So
And
what do you think about that, Abdi? Because did Kai Havertz dive or was he tackled?
Well, for the penalty shout.
Yeah, for the penalty shout.
Yeah, but he got a yellow card for it, didn't he?
No. He had a yellow card before the
Before,
end of
yes,
the match.
yes. Oh, you're saying
And then
the potential dive.
yes, the potential dive.
Yeah, but that's the inconsistency as well, the referee. I mean, I'm for like players who dive to be getting yellow card, not even just in the penalty box. I think throughout the whole pitch. You know, I think like simulation should be automatic yellow card. It shouldn't but it seems like they pick and choose when they do that. That's not a consistent thing if you look at it over it. I don't think it's just based on the game against Arsenal. I think that they do that a lot over the season. Like I think it should just be a consistent automatic, you know, the same way they would do like you get automatic red card for a dangerous tackle, or you know, when feet's too high and you go in for a tackle, it's like automatic red card. So I think I'm for like, you know, simulation, because I think that will cut off a lot of the, you know, rolling around and diving around. The same goes for time wasting, you know. So yeah, I think, you know, Havertz, we're lucky. Of course, I'm going to be biased, but yeah, he should have got another yellow for that. He got away with that, you know. He sneaked that one away. But I'm for like, you know, time wasting, players rolling around, faking injury as well. You know, there should be a punishment for faking injuries, for killing time like that. Yeah, there's a lot they can improve on those areas, but definitely the simulation, like I don't get why sometimes they do it and sometimes like it just seems to be a more of a referee's personal decision, that one. Like maybe they feel like they missed out on last game's one and then they take it out in the next game when people complain, you know. And that's another factor as well, like when, you know, when something happens and then there's a lot of you know, kickback and shouting and complaining and media moaning and everything, that kind of affects the referee when he does the next game. So then now he's worried about if he's find himself in that situation again. And then now this time he reacts the way that he should have reacted last time. But then he can't win, because then there's a complaint again. Then people are like, oh, why did you do it now? But you didn't do it the previous one. What's the difference? So it's very difficult for referees to win.